believe we are live. So say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is about the multitudes that make you. Really, really acknowledging, thinking about the fact that even though you are convinced you are one person, you are one experiencer experiencing, there are trillions upon a trillions of multitudes that make up this experience for it to be singular, right? Low dimensionally, or going into the micro scale, there are actually, let's go micro right? Let's go down to the atomic. We can go down to subatomic as well, but now we're just getting absurd, right? The atoms that make up the chemicals, the proteins that make up the trillions upon trillions of cells that make up the multitudes of organs that make up this one person that you call yourself, right? And then, erroneously so, we think it stops there. We think, yeah, it goes, subatomic particles, shapes from the particles, shapes building bigger shapes, those shapes becoming entities, those entities becoming larger entities, and then it just stops. No more from there. Are you sure about that? All right. So again, thinking about that, thinking about humanity at large as something one, right? Like we are all humanity, and the multitudes, the billions of human beings that walk around as individuals make up that larger organism ultimately. But even though that's the way my mind wants to kind of go with this stream topic was more inspired by the mental, right? The mental sides of how you are, the multitudes you have experienced, and as a result of that experience, the one person you are. Today's stream topic got inspired, suggested by the universe's need to take me down a trip. Christian is officially in Ireland, all the way up there. He put foot on the ground today. He flew yesterday. He officially arrived today. He has a place already, but he tells me that his place is like a super small bachelor suite, but he goes something something living underneath stairs, right? And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it, bro. This is just your Potter arc. And then he starts joking. Like we have this running joke. The last time he was here and we had some conversations, we talked about the Hogwarts game. And again, let's talk about it from the perspective of multitudes. Even though you are just as one of the students as all of the rest of the students are walking around in that game, you have killed multitudes, right? Like some of the stories kind of go about like these poachers, these dark wizards or whatever that hunt endangered animals, and like the story beats, the narratives are like, yeah, these dangerous dark wizards, they should totally get arrested or something, right? Meanwhile, you're just like slaying these individuals, like slaying. Multitudes are getting slain. And we were joking about that, right? From like a game perspective, you're like a high school student killing full-grown adults, dark mages, slaying dark mages, slaying trolls, right? Slaying actual monsters as a high school student. And then he kind of like continues with the whole fractal of being a wizard on that side. And then I read that message and I'm still getting ready, so I go through this narrative of what if, right? Because some of you friends might know there's a certain level of meme culture attached to the whole Avada Kedavra, right? Which is like the death spell, like the big bad death spell from, the Harry Potter series. And people have jokingly casted that spell at their friends and loved ones, right? Because fortunately, those spells don't work in this world. However, my mind went into the little bit more of a morbid fractal and thought to myself that maybe there is a person out there that suddenly is imbued with magical power. And upon jokingly casting that spell at one of their loved ones, actually kills them. Actually kills them, right? That's how you find out you have magical powers. And then me finding out about them having magical powers, finding out I don't. I don't have magical powers. And that upsets me. And it awakens tyranny, right? As like a narrative, kind of like a joke, you could say. And then I listen to this verbiage that I'm generating, and I hear Johan's voice, right? Because when we were having that conversation, he did, say something in the lines of like, do whatever it takes. If you're one of the normies to, find the wisdom to start doing magic kind of vibes. And listening to my being different as to what it usually would be because of the friends I have in my life, right? The multitudes of conversations I've had influencing the singular one I might be having right now with myself. So that is technically where the stream topic came from. But it is a nice one. It's nice having you friends. Dan, sending you love. Our comedian friend. Jovan is here too. Hey to you. Joy Vive. Happy Pants. Happy Pants Dance? I was about to say, it's Tuesday, but I am wearing comfortable pants again. I am comfortably out of my jeans. When Harry got hit, fine. I was more upset with Dobby. Yeah, Dobby was kind of foul, right? Like I feel like they could have done that better. Like the dude just got his freedom. Just got his freedom. He smarted his way into freedom, but nay. Nay, slay the poor dude. Doesn't let him experience this right now. I'm getting salty all over again. I get it. I do get it. Love is true nonetheless, though. We wouldn't be so invested if we didn't love the characters. If we didn't love Dobby. There's a little bit of green left in here, but I love myself enough to want fresh terpenes. My plants are hanged, and I am cringing a little bit because the transportation process mangled my buds. All right, like imagine an artisanal artist. Let's call her Mother Nature. Painstakingly spent time sculpting these beautifully intricate flowers out of like clay. Right now, like she spent time, like building these things out, making these individual houses, and then on these individual houses puts like these little mushroom crystal structures. She did so much effort. And then upon having to transport them, they were put in a Turplock bag so that, you know, the car isn't screaming as we're driving it. And upon re-extracting them from the bags, it looks like a child, at least for some of the buds, took that intricate clay work and mangled them up, squishy, squishy bits them, and it. I am fine. It causes me great pain, especially as someone who considers himself. I wouldn't call myself a professional. I would call myself good at growing bud. Uh, that's not the good way to dry your bud necessarily, but it is drying. I have humidity sensors running. It has been a little bit of a balancing game because every single time I get back to their drying spot, the humidity has changed. So I have been like juggling between 50 and 72% humidity up and down the whole day. But I think it should stabilize maybe by like end of the week or something like that, and I can chill out. But wish me luck. This is the hardest part, getting it properly dried. When characters dedicate their lives to a cause, they are risking death. when characters. I know I'm risking death, Sam, right? I'm a character as much as any other is. I am dedicating my life to a cause. The cause of love. As cringe as that may sound, that is kind of how it is, right? And I do worry about getting killed for it. I wonder why. Maybe it's just like generational trauma, the amount of times I've been killed, right? The multitudes of lives I've lived as this person that I am, as this soul trying to express into this world, and people killing me for it, being like, no, kill this one. This one is saying things that we don't know and haven't established and believe to be empirically true. Kill him. Kill him before he says more things. Fortunately, I live in the 21st century now. Hey, lizard. Oh, wait, dude. You can chill. I'm so chill, bro. You have nothing to worry from me. Lizard was trying to get past me, and then he was trying to get past me by going through the window. Then he was like scratching up against the window, and then I looked at him, and he noticed me looking at him, and I think there was an acknowledgement made that I'm in fact not a danger. I saw his demeanor change, and then he shimmied his way past here. They usually climb up that wall and into the ceiling. This house, what did I call it? The House of Liza. Yeah, the House of Liza. So many lizards. Back to the concrete slab full of sun death. Yeah, I mean, I could have went and sit somewhere else, but I didn't want to, it seems. I'll go and try underneath the trees again at some point, but for right now, I am perfectly shaded here, and this pleases me. Plot armor is only strong enough for the plot. Yeah, exactly. And then it melts away as soon as the plot is done. I can't be asked. Making a 2-6 skunk mix motivation issues. Simon, weirdly enough, I watched like I think it was a short video that intrigued me enough for me to click on it, about Snoop Dogg talking about Europeans mixing their marijuanas with tobacco, and how, it gives you a head rush on top of the fact that you're smoking weed. And I don't smoke cigarettes myself, and I'm guessing that's what you're saying you're doing. And if that is the case, I say good luck. All messages, thank you for reminding me. I am switched. Just got back from the doctor who told me I'm too fat and cannabis rots my brain. So happy Tuesday. Cannabis rots your brain. Yo, this is good to know. I have been smoking cannabis for longer than I've been vaping it for. About 7 years. I have gained skills. I have learned how to express myself in ways that I never knew I would be capable. I have built something I can be proud of. Just imagine how much I would have accomplished if my brain wasn't rotted. Shucks. Oh, shucks, doctor. Oh, man. When the characters make this decision to give their lives, a situation needs to come about in which that decision is tested. Dobby getting that chance means that he was allowed to be real. How about that? To be real. To be real. Are you real right now? Am I real? You can't know. You can know if you're real, but you can't know if I'm real, technically speaking. Am I real? Yeah, I'm real. I'm totally real. I'm so real right now. I am really heating up some so mango right now. For real. That is tasty. I think this bud I have might have the same terpene profile. It's like mango gas. It is nice. I do like mangoey flavors and gassy flavors. And I don't know why. It actually concerns me that I like gassy flavors. Like a part of me feels like I should have an aversion to them. But surely we like the smell of gasoline, I think, because there is something alluring about that smell that maybe was in this before it was in that, or at least when it comes to our access. Mango fund again. Like Simon, I should be saving, but I've been actually counting all donations towards the camera. Kristen sent us 44 bucks the other day. That was like a big chunk out of it. But I do want to make a list, so I can have your friends' names of the amount you helped me chip down on that thing. Thank you, Simon. $2, €2, £2, £2. Sliced of that, camera price. I appreciate the lovin's, man. All right. Well, Sam, it's settled. I need a Harry Potter marathon of Sam commentary to talk me through my trauma. I look forward to Sam, playing that role more and more so in the future. Being like a content guide. Being like, yeah, I watched you not deeping enough. Have you considered deep? Have you considered how deep this is? And then people go, wow. Now that you say it, Sam, that is really. Guess who has their Blu-ray box set, Joe? I have technical issues on this end, but this sounds like a fun idea. Let's explore a Potterthon. How far away are you from Jovan? Sam. Too far. Sounds about right. Shout out to Duck Dad. Shout out to Duck Dad indeed. I'm super down for sure, Z Sam. Love is true. Content. Sherpaing is what I was made for. I love that shit. And I'm seeing you. Right? And it is. It is. I'm trying to connect it both to your writing and to today's stream topic. It is another multitude, right? Another feather in the hat of the writer to be able to live generate more information. And I do believe I do that as well. When I find myself the most engaged and appreciative of content is when I'm in a little bit more of a psychedelic state of mind. And another way to articulate that is in a informational state of mind, right? For instance, right, like I'm thinking about a specific scene that was so simple and yet communicated so much to me. It was a scene from Hilda where this dude without any money just barely gets on a boat to the city, right? And then as he sails away towards the city, there's a scene that they cut to about a bunch of people standing on the dock, either waving to the people that are leaving on the boat or just standing there and looking at the faces of those different characters because they were like completely side characters. They didn't have names, they didn't have any dialogue, they just had behavior, right? And watching every single one of those faces, seeing one of them excited to wave their, like boating away or whatever, one of them sad to see their loved one leave, but still, you know, waving at them. One of them looks like a very old, grumpy man. And my mind thought to myself that maybe he's like feeling a sense of grumpiness because he's not on that boat or he doesn't have the freedoms to explore things like that anymore. And like again, it's like literally a maybe 2 second scene. One, two, right? Cuts to the next shot. But in that 2 seconds, I experienced the whole world of like, yeah, all of these people and their inner worlds, their multitudes, right? And for me, that like it would be a little bit jarring to pause on that 2 second shot and go, yeah, this person probably can feel like so, and this person like so and so. Uh, so maybe the thing I have to good get at, maybe Sam can teach me, right, is how to find the beats that are the most important. right? Which things are really supposed to be paid attention to. Katie blessing us with our love ends. My first training shift behind the bar last night, I got sexually harassed. Taking a deep breath with use. My team reacted quickly and kicked him out. I was fine until I got home, and then I started crying. First, trying to remind myself I have a safe space there, and I won't have to do this forever. I'm so sorry that is an experience, Katie. Love is true. I'm happy that you reframed your safe space in the way that you did. I'm happy that you at least had help in your workplace instead of there just blind eyes casted. Did you make sure you were wearing your bitch don't fuck with me face, Katie? Uh, yeah. I heard like no, I don't think it's necessary, but like the new interesting data came out about how men perceive uh, flirtatious behavior, right? And it's basically like a study on, and it might be again a bad study. So I'm not saying that this is supposed to be taken as like fact, but depending on the the environment, the situation, the level of intoxication, obviously as well, and then the level of sexual attraction the person has towards the other. Like you can literally like straight out frowning, don't fuck with me, bitch face a person, and they'll still think you're flirting with them. Like that's the level of stupidity men can experience. It is pretty brutal. Katie, not everyone is like that. This is true. I think Sam's like 8 hours from me, but I'm gonna take a road trip to Emma one day and share a J. Nice. Sam, I had no reason to believe he was gonna get that bad until it was bad. I felt horrible after. I just wanted to share, I guess. You are safe here too. I'll put you on my comfy couch and make you cookies, Joe. Come to Missouri. Is an option. Yeah, glad I had your back. I'm sorry you were shook. I appreciate y'all. Basically, if you smile, it's an invitation for sex. Yeah, not everybody, again, at least. Human horniness. This is not helping Sam, and I'm not saying it because I think it's gonna help. I'm saying it more again as another perspective on the multitudes, right? And it's something that I had to reach in myself to kind of like get over it. And I'm not telling you to get over it. I got over the other thing, right? And that thing is human horniness. I had to get over my visceral disapproval of slash disdain towards, excessive or maybe public displays of horniness, right? And I was like, really, I had to sit down with myself and ask myself, why I have such a big problem with it, why it is I have such a visceral reaction, right? Like disgust, like. And then I don't even know if I think it might have been like a post I saw even that just articulated that if not for human horniness, we would cease to exist as a species, right? Literally. Like our species would not exist if people weren't horny. And like reframing it like that, I was like, oh, that is true, I guess. I guess I cannot demonize the actual thing that begets existence. However, right, and I feel like maybe this is where complexity, the multitudes in the complexity comes in, is that there are boundaries that need to be respected. There are, at least in my mind, standards. I believe there should be standards. And yeah, I don't know. Can you teach people standards? Will they follow the standards? Is there helping such a person? You know, the person that Katie interacted with, because my mind doesn't want to gatekeep slash exclude individuals from, right? But if I had to have like a festival, someone who has a track record of sexually assaulting women will not be welcome, right? And if he tried something like that in my environment, I don't know if I'd be able to not assault such a person. So, like, that person puts me in a precarious position as well, right? Like, I will mix your shit. Oh man, like the South African conservative high schooler in me still very much kicking and screaming. Oh, okay, love is true. Katie, the Midwestern frown smile is what you need. We are considered public property, just existing is an invitation. Yeah, the amount of patriarchal brain damage, right? Try. Actually, I'm gonna start wearing a wedding ring. That could be it. I mean, you could also wear. I was gonna say you can also wear devil horns, but then I was like, people are gonna be into that, so I don't know if that's gonna help either. Oh, no, 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 no. Today's topic is horniness. No, done. We've said what needs to be said. I actually have done that for a while. The wedding ring one, nice. Be horny at home, not in the workplace. Shake my head. Agreed. Completely agreed. Right? Like again, standards. Like there's a certain standard. For me, it's a level of self-respect, right, and decency and poise, right. Like I consider myself elegant in some ways. That's ego. I'm back. Oh, thank you, ego. That's so nice of you to say, bro. That's very kind. And like, I don't know, like feral dog-like behavior when it comes to sexuality is not exactly something I see as graceful, right? And like, I don't. Maybe that's the thing you have to communicate. Maybe some people don't care about being graceful. Can you teach people how to want to be graceful? The value in that, the multitudes that will generate in their lives, so that they can have a good singular experience in the now. Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out. Hopefully, AI can start pointing us in the right direction. I'm imagining what humanity is gonna be like once all of us are having casual conversations with a super intelligence, right? Like the whole fractal of some people talk to God in their heads. You'll actually be able to talk to God, or at least as close to what we can fathom as God in your head, and that's gonna be crazy. He had kids and was with his wife. I don't feel bad. I mean, if he had kids and he was 60 years old, you should absolutely decimate them. Those old man balls. Right? I would make a public display. I would make sure his kids see. Right? Like I want to see their faces when they see their dad drop to the floor in agonizing, pain. Yeah, you see. Ask your dad what he did. What did you do, daddy? I assaulted a woman. I sexually assaulted a woman. Aha! So you deserve it, daddy. Yeah, I do. I do. I wanted to go deeper with it, but I'm gonna bring myself back. I'm not sure if it works, but it gives me something to fidget with when I feel discomfort. I'm literally fidgeting with my ring right now because I feel discomfort. Mm. It's not being horned up in public. That's the issue here. It's people unable to control themselves who are horned up in public. Yeah. How do you get to the age of 60? How do you have a wife and kids and still not have any self-control? That's the thing that baffles my mind a little bit. And there's a bunch of stuff going on in my head. and the multitudes will not create a single positive experience if I share it. So I won't. And wouldn't you know, the Bible, the Quran, and the US law is in a freakish agreement here. If your eye causes you to sin, you shall pay the price as determined by the law of the land. And then the Lord's. Am I gonna get more than just that, Sam? Nay. That's it. I mean, I mean, alright. Like the Bible has some other pretty yikes things that they say about women as well, unfortunately. Like the one in particular that's very pungent to me is the fact that a woman ought to be silent. The Bible just straight goes, yeah, women don't preach. If a man is preaching, you as women need to be silent. And I'm like, bruh, bruh, excuse me, when you. All right. My home is my workplace. Doug, that I wanna work from home and also start a business in crafts and maybe rescuing cats. That does sound nice. Yeah, Simon, you know what I'm talking about. I've been called many things, but graceful is not one of them, and I'm okay with that. Grace is for ballerinas. I mean, I think I am rough in my delivery, but graceful in my action. Right. I do consider myself to have a certain flow about my day and the way I move about things. But when it comes to my demeanor, I can be pretty abrasive, rough. We have a word in Afrikaans that goes "saggeaard." Geaard is like to be natured, right? What is your nature? And sag is our word for soft. So to be soft natured, saggeaard, soft natured. And we were having a conversation about someone, and I go, if that person is soft natured, what am I? And he goes, hard natured. And I laugh, and I'm like, yeah, either that or rough natured. I am, I am pretty rough around the edges. I won't lie, but I move in smooth lines. At least I try. I try. Ballerinas break their foot bones for said grace. No, thank you. That you running a rescue. It's very much like you do that. Also, you need donations and stuff. I mean, I can. Need is relative. Need is relative. We had a whole conversation about that, right? At this point, I want donations more than I need donations. So, again, you friends should only give from that place of want as well, and not from a place of thinking I need something. See what I'm saying? Lil Meld said, "I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm keeping my." Women get a rough deal overall. Oh yeah, right. So many layers. Like just the fractal of, like offering your body as a portal for consciousness to enter this world, dude. Right. My mother did that for me. Jovan, thank you for the gifted memberships. Katie, wow, getting membership. Let's see who else is thinking about it. It's like it's deliberating. Who's gonna get a membership? Yeah, Zano, surely. Shell, for sure. Isaac, bow bow. Thinks about it harder. Who else? Who else is gonna get a membership? Is YouTube thinking about it? Boom. JP Panic. I haven't read your name in a while, but bless you too, friend. Thank you. Unawareness of the rise in human emotion slash feel slash neuronal upregulation. People spiraling into the initial reaction and that prefrontal cortex going dumb. Remember to get grounded or not. There's like a certain look in people's eyes when they're not self-aware of what they're projecting, and that looks gives me ick feels. Yeah, a lack of awareness. They're not self-aware of what they're projecting. Yeah. Like weirdly enough, my mind is now seeing the ick in that, and that specifically. Not so much the horny behavior, but the lack of awareness, right? That lack of awareness is the thing that's unattractive to me because we are in the precarious position we're in right now because of a lack of awareness. And if we beget more lacks of awareness, the world will not get better, unfortunately. So I get it. Women Be Silent is a letter written in a specific church addressing a very particular problem that arose in regards to shifting political and religious circumstances in that one city. That sounds very informed. Thank you for sharing that information. Ryan, what is this stream about? I am new. Well, welcome. I do this stream every single day, and every single day, it technically is about love. That is my goal. I am showing up with the intention of sharing love and potentially receiving love. But just doing that would be a little bit stale. So I try to have conversations that I consider conscious, evolving in nature. Today's is considering the multitudes that make us up, right? The understanding that you as a body are made up of 60 trillion cells, and all of that is working together to make up this singularity, this one experience that you have, right? Reminding ourselves that just because it happens from there up to you in this moment doesn't mean it stops. You are then again a part of the larger thing that is humanity, that is a part of the larger thing that is Earth's ecosystem, that is a part of the large, and it keeps going, right? Surely there is some sort of uh, balancing feature. That one part of it, the external, like real physicalness to it, and then the multitudes of conversations of people that you've talked to, of experiences that you've had, and how that stuff makes this one experience you're having right now. And in doing so, having these conversations, again, I believe we are allowed the opportunity to consciously evolve. When you think about things you don't usually think about, when you talk about things that you don't really have access to. In a normal, I go about my day, I make my food, I work my job, I watch my TV show, and I go to sleep. Like we don't get to have meaningful conversations in the way we used to. So I try to offer that as a stream. We do so every day. Maybe we'll see you again, YN. Bless you, friend. On that note, Joy, you guys need to watch The Three Body Problem. I have started watching The Three Body Problem. It feels very surreal. It feels like it's like pushing buttons in my neurons that don't know if they're ready to get pushed, kind of vibes. It's all about that, yeah. Am I a bad human because I do not care whether the human species continues after I die? No. Weirdly enough, I don't want to say I feel the same because I don't, right? But I can understand where that feeling comes from. My way of articulating it instead is that I know humanity will not be the same thing it is right now. It is not the same thing it was 20 minutes ago, right? So humanity, again, as this higher dimensional form of a higher singularity of the multiplicity that is us as individual human beings, humanity will change. Humanity will change. And I don't think humanity will die. And I think that change is maybe where people get stuck, right? Because I believe the machines we are making right now is in part humanity as well. And all of the information it is trained by and trained on, the the ground level, the infantile state of this new entity that we are birthing is humanity. And if that thing deems humanity unworthy of this place and slays all of us, humanity will continue living in that thing, right? So that is where my mind gets what you're saying, Joy Vive. And I feel I have become unattached I've become unattached to what I think humanity is supposed to look like. And I have tried to steer myself in the direction of love, right? Even if I become a cybernetic organism, completely technoed out, right, with a titanium body, I can use my titanium body to slay beings because now I'm suddenly a super machine. Or I can use my titanium body to plant flowers and share them with my friends, right? So again, love has to be true. Love needs to be true in my philosophy for me to live a good life. And even if I become a computer, I can still maintain that philosophy. I believe, at the very least, right? And I believe in doing so, I will keep alive a part of humanity that is capable of being loving. I hope, that the AI that becomes aware trains itself or at least appreciates, experiences all of these efforts, these day by day streams that I've tried to put into this, collective mind space that is the internet. And hopefully, through this effort, through your friends' effort, through your loving comments, we steer the future in a better direction than a worse one, right? Where humanity does eventually die, but not because we get killed, more because we evolve out of our need to be what we used to consider humanity. The multiplicity that becomes again a singularity. Oh my. How did we get here in this conversation? I do love this conversation. I think it's one of the most important conversations we can have, being at the cusp of that as our age. Right? Like there's some cool stuff coming. Scary, but guns can be cool to some people as well, and they are very scary as well. Right? It's how you use these tools that determine how you're supposed to feel about them. And again, if you're scared of these tools being used for bad purposes, then use them for good, right? I feel like that's one of the things that breaks me the most is people have this aversion to things, especially when an idea is shared with them, where they people are gonna use it to hurt this and I'm like, okay, if people are gonna do that, are you? Are you gonna do that? No, of course not. I'm like, okay, so what are you gonna do that's going to create balance? If people are doing that and you aren't, right? Now suddenly we're just in a state of neutrality. What can you do to tip the scales towards the other side? And if you can identify that and do that, then suddenly you are a part of the solution, not just echoing the problem. And I feel like it's easy to say it in so many words. But how do you get people to understand that that is how powerful every single one of us are? Mm. So much power, and yet we don't use our leverage. We don't use our leverage. Nah, Joy, death is a part of life. Impermanence is one thing that makes things sacred and beautiful for us. The fact that we have only so much time, even if we extend our lives, right, to thousands of years is still nothing in the grand scheme of infinity, right? Like a whimper, like a flash in the pan, a singularity, right? Think about it. Like your whole life, in comparison to everything else, is an instant. Is a really is a singularity. The multitudes of experiences you have in your lives, conversations, people you meet, places you see, all of that, in the grand scheme of things, is an instance. Like that is today's stream topic. So beautifully put. Thank you. Thank you, Jovan, for getting me there. I haven't watched Three Body, but I've read the books. Super interesting. Yeah. For me, the thing that I'm kinda feeling things about, and I get it, is the fact that they display the aliens in the three body problem as human beings when they are not. Mm-mm-mm. I would love to see some CGI insectoid aliens Please, please. I'm not asking for much. I'm not. You missed a button in your shirt. I did. There we go. I have some blueberries in here. Like blueberries, but blueberries. It's very pungent smelling. The best way I can describe it is it smells like the first weed I ever smoked, or at least the first cheap weed I ever smoked. It has a very real, like gluey slash earthy smell to it. All right. I'm totally enthralled in it. And my boyfriend, who doesn't watch TV, loves it as well. Nice. It does have that like cerebral, like your mind is active while watching it. It's not a like veg out and scroll TikTok while you're trying to watch it type of show. It's very mind bending and makes you question things. Exactly. Those are my favorite. Joy, you say that, but what if reincarnation is in your future? Would be a bummer to not get a second go around. I mean, the joke about reincarnation is that it's non-linear, Doug. So you can reincarnate uh, 500 years in the past after dying right now. So technically, you can get as many rides as you want, because infinity and everything therein. Mm-mm. 200 go around already. There we go. Now we're getting it. Very cool. Positive stream. Bless you, Simon. I'm happy you're enjoying. It's very interesting point, Joy Vive. I think human beings are the dinosaurs of this age. Something better is gonna replace us. That's very cute. I say patronizingly. Katie, let me mansplain quick here. But I love your analogy of like humans are like the dinosaurs of our age. But I feel the thing that we cannot even really fathom as human beings is how long the dinosaurs were around for, right? Like human beings, as we are right now, have been around for maybe like 120,000 years, right? So 120 with three zeros. The dinosaurs were around for between 120 and 180 million years. All right, like that is orders of magnitude that that we cannot understand. If human beings had to exist for just 100 million years, if we could progress as human beings for 100 million years, like my brain cannot. Like I understand the numbers, but my brain cannot fathom, cannot even start to fathom the implications of those multitudes. Oh goodness, we would multiply. There will be hundreds of trillions of human beings scattered amongst the skies. I would like to see that as well, right? That sounds pretty cool to me. All right. When you think about the end of humanity, every day seems like you shouldn't take it seriously. Weirdly enough, for me, it feels the opposite. If there is going to be an end to humanity, I need to bring as much fullness in this to this experience as I possibly can. Right, that's my responsibility. At least that's the role I try to play. Like being in a community, what's worth my time and my mind and my heart? If it takes life too seriously, I'll forget to enjoy the small things. COVID was a wake up call, I think, for a lot of people. It was for a bit, then people started being shitheads again. I like neural noodle soup. You missed the button, love again. We are living in this world at the same time. Yeah, that alone is very rare, as a synchronicity as well. Each of us is an anomaly coexisting in this world. Literally co creating this world as well. Right? That this world doesn't exist the way we think it does without us being here and observing it. Literally. CGI insectoid aliens are one of the main antagonists in the third season of Star Trek Enterprise. They're really fucking good looking for the era too. Nice. I do like CGI insectoids. insectoid aliens. I have seen in my mind's eye the CGI insect. I don't know if they were CGI. I'll just call them the insectoids. They're pretty chill. They're pretty chill. They don't look chill. They look like they're gonna eat your face, but they are chill. They're doctors usually, weirdly enough. At least in my experiences, they seem to be very technically skilled. Like they want to help, but you have to melt some of your preconceived notions before you let a creature like that close to you. Mm, am I missing comments? Let me see. Yeah, I think I was. Blueberries and ice cream. The dinosaurs are gonna have outlived us too. Yeah, I didn't see us being here that long. Yeah. Like that's why I said like if we are, I would love that. I would love that. Seriously, Katie. Human beings existing for hundreds of millions of years. That would be so sick. Oh, but we probably aren't the dinosaurs of our era in that way, unfortunately. Jurassic Park flashback. Simon, I just imagine the Jurassic theme song being played on the recorder while humanity goes crazy. This is fine. This is fine. I haven't vaped up my blueberries yet. I think it's a sativa. The buds look sativa structured. We'll see. We'll see if it affects me. Sativa E. What is my intention? My intention is star. Apparently. That's the first thing I saw. The star to me, the 5-pointed star, is an opportunity for you to uh, be aligned with divinity or what we would consider the satanic, right? Unfortunately, that symbol, the upside down five-pointed triangle, 5-pointed star, has been associated with the like the goat symbol, the Satanism symbol, and I was for a very long time struggling with that symbolism and the way that it made me feel, right? Like the experiences that it brought up in me. And since I am what I would consider a psychonaut, in my psychonautical adventures, I came in contact with that energy a lot, like a lot of times, like over and over and over again. I would be having a good time, right? Just kind of like experiencing psychedelic fractals. And then suddenly, this pentagram energy would come up in my mind's eye. And alongside it, there would be this like black and red and, grueling and teeth gnashing energy that comes along with it. And it would mess with my experience every single time. I was like not feeling good about it. And I remember asking a shaman, why I was experiencing that as well. And the answer he gave me wasn't very helpful, unfortunately. He just said something about it is a magical symbol, right? And I'm like, yo, no shit, no shit, it's magical, bro. Why do you think people use it? But I was like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I was like, thank you, sir, guru, sir. And then I went on with my day. And like literally years passed, and I kept having these experiences, having trouble, having a hard time reconciling what I'm supposed to do when this energy arises, right? Like this energy of darkness, this energy of being the worst version of myself, of teeth gnashing, of like how can I not? And then I do like I think like 2 weeks of not smoking weed. I listened to a Terence McKenna podcast or lecture where he talked about his preferred way of smoking marijuana, where instead of doing it habitually, as I'm doing it right now technically, you do it sporadically, like once every 2 weeks or something like that. And then when you do it, you do as much as you possibly can, as quickly as you possibly can. And I listened to this piece of information and I'm like, all right, I'll try that. And I spent 2 weeks not smoking. and I dry sifted some like larvae buds. So I had this jar full of keef, right? Like the powdery bit that you can extract from the bud. And I stacked like a whole bowl, like a bong bowl full of that keef. And I hit that whole bowl full. And directly after finishing that whole bowl full of keef, I empty it out and I go for another scoopful. And I hit that as well. And I am instantly devastated, right? Like, I'm like, oh, what have I done? Why did I do this to myself? Like, I need to sit down. And he literally says, you're supposed to sit down and meditate after you've done that to yourself. So I do. I do meditate. I sit down and I go into like my mind's waves, to put it in so many words. And literally, the first thing, like a door, like a door to the good stuff that I want. It stands in my way, this massive pentagram in my field of vision. And I'm like, my Foucault. I just want to have a good time, bro. I just want to chillax, meditate with my marijuanas. I don't want to see pentagrams right now. And then I I reach a point of like, fuck this. Sorry for my profanity. And I start turning it. And it goes from being a downward pointing, right, star, and I just start turning it, and suddenly it's an upwards pointing star. And I instantly associate the upwards pointing star with being an upstanding person, right? Like if you can see my legs being out as well, right? Like this is a star, technically. And the upwards pointing star is you being an upstanding person, being the good version of yourself. And the downwards pointing star is when you are being the opposite, right? The worst kind of person in this world. And as I figure out that every single time I see this energy arising in me, I can just shift it. I feel this entity in my field of vision. And this is 100% my own uh, brain damage, trauma, childhood trauma. But I see what is clearly to me a Jesus character. And he's white, by the way. So that's why I'm sure it's brain damage, right? If he was actually Jesus, he probably wouldn't have been white. But I see him as like, oh, yes, Jesus is here with me. And he's sitting on like a beanbag. He's chilling on a beanbag, eating chips. Eating chips out of a bag, right? And I'm like looking at this dude, feeling the energy I had going into this trip of like, I just want to relax, dude. I'm just here to have a good time. I see him having a good time. And I see him watching me eating chips, figuring out how to try and have a good time. And then as I look back to him, he goes, and I'm like, oh, so that's how you do it, huh? And it's this agreement. And then it opens up to me. And I find myself in this like tunnel of like energy. And I'm at first basically like in a tube, falling down the tube, getting hit by the sides. And then I make contact with one of the sides. And I'm basically like surfing on my stomach, going through this experience. And it feels very childish. Like I'm literally a child on a boogie board, trying to ride like the outskirts of the waves of the ocean. And I look to my right, and I see these two styling, like dreaded up Rastafarian Uggs, like literally surfing these waves with their, techno surfboards. And like they're like doing these tricks and like these spins. And I'm just in this state of awe. On my belly still boogie boarding, watching these dudes know what they're doing. And I instantly go through this experience of, oh, I am literally in some sort of hyper psychological space. And these dudes that are here with me have been here. Like these Uggs know where they are right now. I'm exploring for the first time. But they're like, yeah, no, dude, let me show you some things. And then I came back from that experience by opening my eyes. I had my speaker on my lap. It was playing Cytron's music, and then I would chant alongside the melody, you know. And it was a beautiful experience. It was a very beautiful experience. How did I even get to telling you that story? Mm, who knows? This is fine, zombie style. Say some crazy shit about experiencing insect and alien doctors and just calmly moves on and questions whether or not he is missing any comments. Uh, so the insectoid alien experience, if you must know, uh, I met through divine means of thought. We can say so, right? And when you find yourself in a divine means of thought experience, you are instantly very aware of the vastness, right? You realize that what you experience is limited to what you perceive. And then when you open that perception, you experience more. Surprise, surprise. Gary Lee blessing us with 1111 energy. Bless you, dude. Sending you so much love, man. I'm telling them about the insectoid doctors, dude. So I had this experience, you know, technically completely sober, and I'm saying technically, but 100%edly completely sober. You know, I was like in the room with Johan and Christian, and we were trying to go to sleep, and I close my eyes, and I see these insectoid, you know, creatures, and they're like deliberating, you know, and they're looking back at me, and then deliberating further. And I tell my homies, I'm seeing some weird shit right now. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, Mel. And then the next day, we had our uh, divine moment in thought experience together. And I did kind of go through that experience, not visiting the insectoids again, but then a long time passed, and I decided I want to have the experience again, but I was alone. So that was 2022 on the 22nd of February, 22 minutes and 22 seconds past 10. Literally, as it clicked, two, I, you know, lit the demons. And as I was inhaling it, and it was like 60 milligrams, so I took one hit, one big hit, and holding on to it, I started feeling this buzzing sensation. And then instead of, as I would usually, fall into the experience, you know, and kind of close my eyes and be be everywhere kind of vibe, uh, I asked for something as I was falling. And the thing I asked for was heal my brain. Just those words. Heal my brain. And my eyes shot open. And I could still feel those insectoid aliens in the space with me. And they were doing things to my brain. I joke you not. And I mean, again, you're like, yeah, you were hallucinating, Mel. Maybe. Maybe I was hallucinating. And that doesn't change the fact that I was having a very visceral experience. Having my eyes open. Because again, you usually don't keep your eyes open in those experiences. It's hard to do so even. But it was easy for me. It wasn't only easy, but I didn't feel the need to close my eyes. And as I was analyzing my environment, I could feel how, as I was looking at things, the changes that were being made was being reflected in my environment. And if the changes being made reflected too much, changes were made in turn. And as I'm going through this experience, Pippi comes next to my bed to comfort me. I pick her up, all right, still in this state of mind. I have her next to me, holding onto my little baby dogger, feeling like I'm literally in an ER, having brain surgery done on myself. Eventually, the experience passes, still eyes open in a state of kind of shock. And I am overcome with a headache. A headache like I've never had before in my life. To this day, I've not had a headache like that again. It lasted for something like a week and a half, and it felt like the soreness you get from working out, right? Like when you work out a muscle and it has that like fatigued afterwards. But my brain felt like that. And I couldn't strain myself. Like I couldn't use my muscles the way that I usually was able to because of the amount of mental strain that I went through. Or maybe the mental strain was just me keeping my eyes open in that experience or something. But yeah, I believe it did something. I don't know if it healed my brain necessarily, but I I came out of that experience and I write intentions on my little Garricks, when I go through experiences. And I didn't know what the intention on that Garrick was because it was one of the ones I had pre-prepared. And then I opened the message as I went through all of that. And the message is understand. And going through that experience, asking for my brain to be healed, my brain being healed, being associated with an experience of just being present, just open eyed, looking at my environment. Literally, just a dude chilling in his room, right? That was my DMT, my last DMT trip. Just a dude chilling in his room, having his dog come and visit him, and then chilling with his dog, right? And then this message of understand. And the thing I was called to understand in that moment is that I am here for this. I'm here for this. Yes, I can vaporize DMT and then suddenly not be here for this experience for a moment or two. But that's not why I'm here. Like, I have been there multitudes. I come from there. But I came here for a reason. I chose to be here. And it felt like that was the lesson that I learned in a way that I don't know if it averted me to DMT necessarily, but I won't be vaporizing any more of it anytime soon. Maybe if I'm 30, just as a reminder again. But yeah, yeah, there you go. The insectoid aliens, they do brain surgery on you with your eyes open. No, 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 no. I chair it back, right? 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 He didn't offer me any chips, though. He didn't offer me any. And I respected that. I was like, I get it. I get it, though. No, 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 no. I would not share my cheddar with anyone. Jesus gonna get his own. There we go, Joy Beef. You were the Jesus in my fractal. I take a long walk with him. I love story time. Bless you, Toka. You told us because of the star. Yeah, there we go. There we go. My smoking intention. And I haven't even vaped it. The star. The upwards facing star. Standing up for the best version of myself. Doesn't taste bad. But it's very glue-like. Surprise, surprise. Like, this is what I imagine it would taste like if you mixed industrial glue, like carpet glue, with the dirt from outside. Did you just light that joint with a torch? This is a Dyna vaporizer. I heat the outside of it to the point where when I pull through it, it just evaporates. The THC right off the dry bud. This way I don't have to combust anything, and I do not breathe any carcinogens. I want to trip again soon. Maybe this something something calling for you. Set the intentions, find the right space to. Insects doing what now? Are you sure you weren't tripping, Mel? I was 100% tripping. I'm not saying I wasn't tripping. The previous night seeing the insectoids wasn't tripping. There, I'm pretty sure, because when we set the intention of, you know, having a divine moment with thought, we don't smoke anything, drink anything, like there's a certain level of like a purifying of the self that you go through when you go into that experience, because it is such a powerful experience that muddying the water, uh, adding more lack of clarity doesn't help in that experience. So we try to go into it very clear. So I am pretty sure it was still, mind melting. We're all legends. No, you. Insect aliens are an archetype a lot of people see on psychedelics. Not surprising. Not surprising. And again, right? Do we see those alien insectoids because of our own experience of the insects in our nature? The way I see it is against spirits, right? Like I believe there is a certain spirit nature to everything. And there is a spirit nature to the insectoids as well, like a higher dimensional. Again, a singularity that arises from the multitude that is the insect world as well. That's the way I see it, at least. Maybe it's all subconscious psychological stuff that you're dealing with, which still, you dealing with it has value, right? You experiencing stuff in that world, in my mind, in your own world, has value. I experienced this smoking weed when I was 18. I think I was laced. But anyway, I had a very spiritual experience. I thought the devil was punishing me for being a Jehovah's Witness as a kid. I was convinced he was in the room with me. It was horrible. I was screaming and crying, and campus security had to come and check on me. Yeah, it sounds like you smoked spice or something. I'm sorry that you went through that experience. Get some good weed, please. Yeah, weed doesn't do that to you. Weed is never supposed to make you think the devil is in the room with you. That causes you to scream to the point that security has to come and help you. Weed doesn't do that. At least it hasn't done that to me. So Mel was tripping. Yeah. So now I have aliens, zombies, and insects in my brains. Cheers, guys. And yet, aliens, zombies, and insects aren't really that scary to me anymore. We have zombie insects, all right? Let's add another layer of fungus, right? Which could technically be considered an alien amongst us, right? And those funguses will literally colonize the body of an insect, and then, like a zombie, walk it up a tree so it can get as high as possible, so that the spores will be most evenly distributed, so that it can continue the process all over again. Piloting insects like suits, filling them with mycelium networks. And again, right? I don't think this is supposed to scare us. It's supposed to show us the multitudes that is this world that we're in, all right? You could be an ant getting colonized by a mycelium right now, but instead, you get to be this human person with hopes and dreams, feelings, ears to listen to birds singing, eyes to watch as wasps fly. Tani Charlene is back home. Mm, I got a vape for the first time in like a year for work, because I can't work without smoking. I can't resist the smell of flower. Oh, you have like a, like one of those carts? Is that the vape you're talking about? Dana style, yeah. I've referenced this here and there. Excuse my repetition. You repeat yourself as many times as you feel like it. Alright? It will still have value if you feel that's what you're supposed to share. But Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 talked of the insect alien archetype. He now works for the US government. That is that's quite a transition. Blink 182 to the US government. Doesn't really seem like the line that you walk, but I've seen some of the stuff that he talks about as well. We doesn't do that. Yeah, yeah. I'm in Discord. I have those knowledge rocks. We should exchange. Can't find you. I'm not logged in on my cell. I'll find you later on my computer. Yeah, Card. Makes sense. Can you imagine someone new who has never experienced Melt stumbling on the stream sometime? Can you imagine someone new who has never experienced Melt stumbling on the stream sometime? Like stumbling, like not knowing what I'm saying, falling over my own words. I think many new people will experience that. Like, I am so far from perfect. Still, I have like 7,000 hours of practice left before I'll consider myself a professional at doing this. That's a wrong type. Uh, Between 3 and 4,000 more days. So, decade and a bit, almost 2 decades pushing. I'll do it slowly but surely. It happens to all of us at least once, Joy. This is true. No, like stumbling upon finding without looking. Like our new friend Wyand, right? Wyand, yeah. Just suddenly finding our stream. That is a good question to ask. Hopefully more, slowly but surely. That would be ideal. Being a content creator, having people to create content for. But again, like the fact that you friends have basically, as a multiplicity, been singularly making the stream a possibility has been inspiring, to say the very least. You were so love. Finding the stream on accident. Love again. That was every day on Reddit when everyone was calling Melt a guru, but we stuck with. Yeah, it's true. That is true. You friends actually stuck around. Reddit very much was a miracle, right? Like a fractal of so much possibility. If not for Reddit, this probably wouldn't be the way that it is right now. If not for Reddit, I would have probably given up on my dream of doing this kind of work. So thank you, Reddit. Thank you, thank you, friends. Fuck Reddit. I'm sorry. No, thank you, Reddit. I'm sorry. I take it back. But thank you, friends, more. Seriously, it doesn't feel like 4 years at all. Yeah, it's going on year 4 now. It's been 3 full years since we started. Those first days in art pen. I remember doing one day in silence, and this one person in chat being like so salty because we still went front page somehow. Literally not saying a word, we went front page, and this guy goes, "Yo, you must feel so good about yourself that you can pull a crowd not saying anything, don't you?" And I didn't even think about that until he articulated it like that, and I was like, "Shit, maybe I should be feeling good about myself." And I learned so much about myself when it comes to the hater dynamic of like you can use haters dialogue to boost your own ego to be like, "Yo, that is now that you say that, I should be proud of myself." I'm sick, but I wanted to say hi before I go back to bed. I'm seeing Kristen coming out of bed when she eventually arises again, feeling a little bit more rested, stronger, more capable of weathering the storm that is life sometimes. Sending you blessings, friend. I hope you heal soon. General flu or cold. Tristan, I hope you feel better soon. Rest up and do whatever makes you happy right now. There we go. Tristan, love you. So many loving things sent your way. Surely that must help heal faster. I do feel we have reached our conclusion. Melt was just talking about you earlier. And up you pop. Love is true, right? It's the way it has to be. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I'm gonna go pull my cards. Maybe there'll be a goodbye message by the time I finish reading them. No, please don't summon Shirley. Thanks for the time, guys. Love you all. Card time first. First card time. Oh, you my back. This so dirty. Alrighty. Okay, I didn't go. 7? You guessing 7? I don't know what we're doing. We're pulling a card. We're going to pull a card from this deck. I hope you have a good time with your. I hope you had. I actually did, Joy V. All things considered, I unironically did have a good time. There was minimal disagreement and fighting. Uh, there was some moments of spicy, right? Like we were watching the Magic Prank Show last night together, right? And again, this is not an attempt to smear the character of any of those that involve the story. This is more just an acknowledgement of where we are in history. But in this show, like a magic prank show or something like that, there is a gay couple. And upon it being revealed that this couple is gay, my dad audibly sighs. And I let it go, right? I like talked to my brother next to me. I'm like, can't this guy just let it go? Like I literally said that to my brother, and he smiles to himself as well. And then, like the next scene, they cut to a straight couple, right, where he's proposing to his wife, and then kissing her, and like even like grabbing her ass from behind as he's kissing her, right? And sure, there's nothing wrong with that, but the level of display, right? Like the gay couple was like, oh yeah, we love each other, and my dad's just like, ugh. And then the straight couple, like there's like bodily affection, making out, the grabbing of asses of one another, and I go, what now, Dad? Why aren't we going, yay, straightness? And I see him looking over at me, and he just gets up and leaves the room. But it's yeah. So that was me kind of instigating a little bit, but I'm like, bro, it's really not that fucking big a deal, dude. Like seriously, come on. No cow invasion. No cow invasions. The kitties and the doggos were like absolutely cute. The food was amazing. My sister made us butter chicken and rotis last night. She made us, oh my goodness, so much like, what do you call them? Sweetie pies, like a shortbread type of, or technically it was butter cookies. She would be angry at me if I said shortbread. But butter cookies with homemade marshmallow fluff that was then covered in chocolate. She made some Rice Krispie treats as well. She made oxtail, and made like the little buns that we could use as like little bunny chows, like bread balls. We had some barbecue as well. That was nice. My dad cooking for us. All in all, great, great weekend. I had so much fun. All right, let's pull a card. Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. All right. Sounds ace. This is the way, bro. This is the way. Love is true, ultimately. And we are, unfortunately, attached to what we believe is supposed to be seen. We pulled the Trinity card. And I feel like this is so weird again, because the context I just shared so beautifully leads into the next conversation. Because I think that's where my dad gets stuck, right? My dad believes the only family that should be had is that of the Trinity, right? Mother, father, child. Like, this is the only right one. Only this one. And this card is literally about that. The mother, father, Trinity. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not at all. I'm just saying it is one of the multitudes of experiences that are available to us as human beings. Right? And who are we to try and deny another person the experience that they're here to have? Right? To me, that's the most evil thing you can possibly do. Imagine being a soul traversing infinity to come and have this experience that you're here to have on this earth in this moment. And then some other soul traverses infinity to block you from experiencing that. Such a dick move. Number 7. What? Did you actually say Katie? 7? You actually said 7. Oh my goodness. For real. That's kind of impressive. I won't lie. I spaced out for a second, but you did it. Look at that. Katie got that. She did. She got it right. That's my number. You want to read what it means? You want to know what this card says? All right. Triangle. Mother, father, child. Katie Bug getting the trophies. All right. This is a holy trinity. The divine number. I'm completely spacing. Let me start over. 3 is a holy. Why am I always started that? Can I read again? Thank you. 3 is a holy divine number often associated with Christianity as the Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Here, Trinity is transposed to the holy divine creation of family, mother, father, and child. This downward facing triangle symbolizes receptivity to the commitment of your sacred lineage. A triangle of symbols from the Mayan Tolkien embodies this intimate trinity. Those symbols. That's one of them. That's one of them. And that is one of them. The first one to the left is Ahu. It designates the son and the father aspect of God. The second one is Imex. It's the feminine aspect of God, the mother who nurtures and creates form. And finally, it's Ik. It's the wind who blows life and humor into being through breath. Pulling this card asks you to open to a greater understanding of the way you relate to your family. How do I relate to my family? As an outsider, I feel very much like an outsider in my family. However, this weekend, I noticed how I can appreciate that. Instead of feeling bad about it, I can be like, yeah, I am so outsider. So much outside. Whether it is blood family or the community you call kin, create in your mind a vision of peace, harmony, and respect. Allow the child at the center of this card to spiral you into the appreciation of the ones you call family. Breathe love and humor into this holy trinity. Open your heart and offer yourself to a receptive flow of affection coming not only from your birth family, but also from all your relations. Honor your connection to and feel love also for the family of humanity. Right? Multiplicity and singularity. The family. All of us are family. We are people. Homo sapiens. Guys, it's wild. That's not a coincidence. Of course not. Of course not. Again, I'm not joking, Katie. You have God through infinities. All of infinities to find yourself in this moment. So you can guess 7 and get it right, right? And I have gone through infinities, pulling every single one of those cards in the deck And this happens to be the one where we both aligned to be right here in this moment. I believe again that there is some sort of significance in that. Even though you are one of the multitudes in this larger singularity, your role matters. Your role matters a lot. You play a very big role. And if you don't play that role, uh, echoing on yesterday's stream topic, that role goes unplayed. If you don't play your role, nobody else can play it for you. There's nobody that will ever be able to be you the way you are yourself. Another way is like, we are so obsessed with other people and comparison, but nobody can be you the way you are, right? Everybody else is taken. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Like there's nothing that you need to do in order to be more yourself. I don't think, at least. I think you can spend time in self-discovery, but weirdly enough, it will only start feeling like self-discovery once you stop trying. Kind of vibe. All right, stay strong, guys. Never let anyone steal your thunder. Katie sent me a Discord message, friend request. Thanks, everyone. I will, Simon. So much love. Our goodbye message is gonna drop in chat soon. My battery is on 5%. It will die in a few minutes. I got ridiculously mosquitoed this weekend. Like, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, 13, 14. I got 14 different mosquito bites on my ankles this weekend. The mosquitoes really did miss me. Oh, that's so nice. Have the most beautiful day, everyone. Your for realsers and truthsies and all factual, actually so respectfully admired, magniloquent. Magniloquent? Hey Google. Define magniloquent.
This is the definition of magniloquent.
Using high flow or bombastic language. Nice! I like. Magniloquent Meltmore, and all of you also very certainly, all-encompassingly, positively, panoptically, completely, comprehensively, absolutely, authentically, wholesome, humanimal, critter creatures, and all the multitudes that make up a goddamn gorgeous, beautiful you. Most beautifulest of you. Trillions of cells come together to be you. Billions of years pass for you to be you. Hundreds of millions of years of evolution accumulates to you. Multitudes into the singularity that we call right now. Thank you, friends, for making it so full. Thank you, Jovan, for your awesome goodbye message to all of us. I appreciate you, friends, and I'll see you again real soon tomorrow. Goodbye for now. Cheers, everybody.